I want to introduce Francis Bacon Retrieved. This is the fifth and latest in our series, Francis Bacon Studies. It contains 3 extended essays. Maria Balaska suggests fresh ways of thinking about Bacon in relation to the philosophy of Martin Heidegger. Amanda Harrison contributes a wide-ranging analysis of Bacon's non-human imagery. And Darian Leader perceptively probes the mentality of the art forger. Bacon's paintings have been forged quite systematically for over 50 years. And in our official position, we see all too many of these paintings still today. The section called Lost Words forms the longest section of the book. The famous David Sylvester interviews are in effect the go-to source for anyone seriously interested in the words that Bacon said. Yet the interviews were edited and abridged. This meant that many of Bacon's words were cut out, and they've never been available for public scrutiny since that time. So we set to combing the archives of transcripts and recordings to find missing words that we consider are of great interest. We found more than 15,000 words. These include some fascinating statements by Bacon which have never been available before. The painting on the cover, Study for Portrait 1969, was chosen over a year ago because it resonated with the book's subtitle, Lost Words, New Writing. Then, just as the book was at the final stage of editing, we discovered the man in the painting, Ted Onslow. This was particularly exciting because very few of Bacon's portrait subjects are still living. Here is Ted partying with Bacon in 1969. We've recently made a film with Ted, a fascinating record of his time with Bacon, and it will be released soon. There are many more short features in Francis Bacon Retrieved. Just to mention 2 of them, Amanda Harrison contributes another short essay on the 1973 triptych that Bacon painted in memory of George Dyer, which shows at this poignant moment in his life and his relationship with George, who had died 2 years before, that Bacon turned to Egypt to convey his emotion. Also, we have a short feature on the painting Man in a Cap, which Bacon painted in 1945 or thereabouts, probably began before. It's never been X-rayed before. This is still quite an unusual treatment for a Bacon painting. But we slightly hoped that X-rays of this might reveal something. And indeed, what it did reveal was as exciting as possible, because it shows quite clearly underneath the painting of a man in a cap is one of those strange, plucked bird-like forms that Bacon painted in his breakthrough painting, 3 Studies for Figures at the Base of a Crucifixion. Quite clearly what you see underneath Man in a Cap is an important preliminary to that.